Hello, everyone. This is Larry Taylor. We are broadcasting from the third day of the platform convention of the Democratic Party of Oregon. We've now gone through 1.5 days of meetings. I've been here gavel to gavel, and I must say it's been a dramatic change from what we experienced 2 years ago. First of all, we should thank Uphill Media for being here. When they showed up, the staff was a little perplexed because they said, "Well, we've never had media cover one of our events before," which is sort of the sad state of democracy. This is actually the platform convention of the majority party in the state of Oregon, and so Uphill Media is here covering it and letting you know what's happening within the Democratic Party. And if you want to donate, please do so, because the more funds that Uphill Media has, the more events they're going to be able to cover. So we live in a democracy, and elections really do matter. And so what's going on here really dispels all the cynicism that people have about our country and the way it's run. 2 years ago, there was a lot of suspicious things going on in the background where ideas that were being proposed were trying to be deep sixed. We were aware of the rules, and we were able to work around them, and the democracy prevailed. What's happened since then and now is that we had the 2016 election, and there's been a huge infusion of progressive people who want to take back their party. That has resulted in us electing 2 vice chairs that were not a part of the establishment and that are in there to represent the people. And what we see this year is a convention run by the book, no funny stuff, and it's just amazing to see the difference between 2 years ago and this time. There was a lot of anger and frustration because everyone understood what was going on 2 years ago. This time, it's just been a total love fest. There are over 600 people, I believe, registered as delegates from all over the state. So the argument that this is just a representative of a progressive group, of an extreme progressive group in Portland, is not accurate. We have people here from all along the gorge. We have people here from Klamath County, Curry County, Jefferson County, Lake County. They're all here, and they all have a voice. And what we've had yesterday were two sessions of breakout, 2 groups of breakout sessions on various topics, and that we were voting on, and the ones I attended, there was no passionate debate. Most of the things that have been presented were passed, and very little disagreement. The disagreements that we have as Democrats are around the edges, and what this shows is that all across the state, Democrats share a common set of values, and what we were working on is the platform of the Democratic Party, which is the documentation of those values, which everyone else can read and see what Democrats believe in. So for those of you who get pissed at the Democratic Party because a certain member of the legislature does something, just remember that they do not represent the Democratic Party. The members of the Democratic Party are what make up this party, and this weekend we're crafting the document that is the expression of those values. Yesterday we had, for the first time, Peter Courtney show up. The last time I remember him being at a platform convention was when he chaired it, which was somewhere between 10 and 12 years ago. The difference between that's now happened is that he has a challenger in the primary. He's one of the few legislative races in the state where he has a primary challenger. Joyce Judy showed up also, and they got an opportunity to meet. Joyce was introduced to a huge applause last night at an event after the sessions were over, and it's so great to see democracy in Courtney's seat. So she's going to be giving him a good run for his money. She's going to be the guest on our show next weekend, along with Eileen Reedy, who's going to be talking about the history of the national popular vote, one of the most heavily supported pieces of legislation that has been proposed in Salem, has been passed in the House 5 times, and has gone to the Senate, which is controlled by Peter Courtney, to die. So it has died in the Senate 5 times. So, just a couple of notes about what's going on this year. The filing deadline for becoming a precinct committee person, where you, the rank and file Democrats, can get involved in the party. The filing deadline has passed, but it's still possible for you to be elected as a precinct committee person by getting a minimum of 3 votes on the write-in ballot when you receive your ballots at the end of April. Around April 26th, you're going to get this funny ballot in your envelope from your county. If you would like to run as a precinct committee person representing your neighborhood in the Democratic Party, you and 2 other people can write in your name. I advise you to write in your full legal name as you are registered so that the elections office can identify you. And you can become a voting member of your county organization, which is what the Democratic Party of Oregon is comprised of. It would probably be a good idea to let the elections clerk know that you're doing that, because some of them are just not used to these processes. The other big news is that I was talking with Alice Bartelt yesterday, who's the parliamentarian of the Democratic Party of Oregon. She's also the new president of the Oregon Association of Parliamentarians. And what we talked about was setting up virtual study groups of parliamentary procedure. And just so you know, this isn't the dry stuff. Parliamentary procedure is how you ensure that democracy functions properly, and that everyone who participates in these meetings have an equal voice. And it teaches you how to demand your rights in these groups. For a number of years, we've gone along trusting our leadership and really just going along with the flow. What we found out in 2016 was that really when the will of the people is not aligned with the leadership, you start getting schisms. And what we want is leadership that aligns with the people. So if you are interested in learning about parliamentary procedure, wherever you are in the state of Oregon, please go to the website for the Oregon Association of Parliamentarians. You can just Google that and go to their website, and you can find the local meeting groups. If you are not in the Portland metro area, please send in your name, and we will collect it, and we will get back to you and let you know how to join one of the virtual groups that we'll be forming. There will probably be 2 groups. One group will be for just general interest people who are involved in councils and that sort of thing. The second group will be specific to the Democratic Party of Oregon, because we face some specific issues that might not be of interest to everyone else. So we are getting ready to start today's session here at the Platform Convention. This session will last at least 6 hours and could easily go to midnight. They told us to bring our own lunch because there'll be no break for lunch. What we're doing today is ratifying the planks of the platform. Oh, so our staff is rebelling because we're not feeding them, but we'll get you nourishment. So we'll be ratifying the planks of the platform, and that's probably going to take all day. Did I miss anything? Should I add anything, gang? Oh, we'll be back with an update after the convention ends today. It's scheduled to end at 3, and so we're tentatively planning to be online at 3:30 and give you an update on what's happened. So stay tuned then. John, our producer, will go online periodically because he thinks that 6 hours of this is not going to be riveting enough to maintain his attention. Thanks, everyone, and we will see you later.